Good morning. Here we are. Hopefully, I've got the timer right. Build up a little bit of suspense. Welcome to this morning's live. And as you can see, I have a word, 3 words clearly this morning, a prompt about what we're going to be discussing. Or I say discussing, what I'm going to be sharing, because clearly I'm not having a conversation. I'm just sharing what I believe in, the values I build my life on. And interesting enough, where we are today, I can tell. I put a post out to advertise saying, hey, look, forget the kids for 10 minutes. I appreciate it's half term here in the UK. I believe it's the same half term across the whole of Britain. And it's raining. And the reason I'm looking outside, because that's what tends to happen. I'm here in Cornwall, right down at the bottom of the UK. And it's a shame when people come on holiday, they have a break and the rain comes out. But who knows? Let's bring some sunshine from it here. Anyway, cut to the chase. Hopefully you got a cup of this morning. I haven't got my bird cup. It's actually my partner's mug. I pinched it. And there's a little tale here because you have one of these and I broke it. So I had to buy another one. It's identical, but it's a beautiful mug and it's got Cornwall inside. You can't clearly see it, but that's my morning coffee. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Finding your formula. What is this about? Well, if we revert back to, if you've been on some of the lives with me before, and I appreciate this is just episode 5, and hopefully in a few months' time we'll be up to episode, figure that one out, 20 something. I'm going to pull up the conscious development map. And we talk about ourself right at the heart of this, the model, and we talk about going out through our well-being, relationships, financial position, and our life fulfillment, and that alignment of going from ourself to our life fulfillment, what we're here to do. And in amongst that, and this is a framework, okay, and I like frameworks, I like process, I like structure, and even one of the most fluid things on the planet, water, has a structure to it. People go, oh, I don't like frameworks, I don't like structure, don't put me into a box that I don't want to fit into. And I get that and I understand that, okay. And this is where the phrase came from, of finding your formula. And it's a formula that serves you at the heart of all that you do. Let me give you an example. Okay, here we go. So for instance, one of the things that I do, coming back to the map, life fulfillment, it's that voluntary, that contribution, the things that you do that is almost like your legacy and an imprint. And one of the small things that I do is that I donate blood. And I've done it for, I don't know, I think just before my daughter's born, she's 20 now. So I've done it for many years. And I went to one of the sessions and they basically said, you realize that your blood type, you can donate platelets. So I went, what does that involve? And it involves quicker, longer donation period of time, shorter intervals between the donation sessions. And I kind of thought about it, but actually, and this may sound harsh for some people, go, yeah, I should do that. And that's the should word that we're going to talk about in a minute. But it didn't fit into the formula of how we were living our life at the time, and especially how we're living our life now. It's because the time allocated to that would have thrown off an imbalance in my personal economy. So coming back, it's all coming back towards the center of the core of the conscious development map. So if I'd excelled in life fulfillment, those contribution things, given the blood, platelets in this instance, how would it have affected my personal economy? Meaning that would have that taken time away from building my business, my service offerings, the things that I was supposed to kind of cover off my responsibilities, and effectively step back from that again? How would that affect my relationships? Well, I'll be saying to my partner, darling, I'm doing this because I want to do this. Okay, yeah, but how's that affecting responsibilities? How does it come back to your well-being? And then how does it affect yourself right at the core of all you do? This is why this conscious development model is a measure and check process of some of the things that we're doing. Okay, another instance, think about, work. Okay, if you work for somebody, or you are the owner operator, you're the CEO, you're the chairman, you're whoever, chairperson, I apologize. Okay, if you in your business is expecting you to do things that is going to break you, that is not going to take care of your well-being and your relationships, it may improve your financial position, but the formula that they're asking you to fit into isn't serving you at the heart of it. And this is why I say the phrase is finding your formula. Okay, because the expectations that get put upon us, you should do this, you must do that, you need to do that, it's normally coming from someone else's directive. And if they don't understand, and I got my partner to thank for this, because again, and I know I'm going between the formula and the conscious development map, here in the middle, when we talk about energy, okay, I actually have that word as identity. And I ran this past my partner, who's an incredible business mentor and an energetic strategist. And she has this understanding of realizing how our energetic resonance affects everything in our world. So I actually replaced the word in this and I went energy, okay, because this is energy imprint that we're leaving. Okay, and if based on our beliefs and values, if in your heart you are being asked to do something that doesn't fit with yourself at the heart of this, hear me, I'm just trying to do the mouse there to give the illustration there. If it doesn't fit, okay, this isn't a formula that serves you. And this is where a lot of people are broken, fundamentally broken, because the formula they're being asked to fit into doesn't align with themselves energetically. So in most instances, it goes completely counter to their values and their beliefs of how they want to live their life. And obviously that affects their mindset. You know, you can push beyond certain things, but those things are still there. They're still present in your world. They're still present in your life. Okay. And if you are constantly at odds with those, that formula isn't serving you. Okay. I put on a post on LinkedIn and Facebook to say, hey, forget the kids for 10 minutes. You know, get your sedatives. I know it's half term for yourself, not the kids. Okay. But remove that role of parent, you know, of partner, of sibling, whoever. Okay. And put yourself front and center of your moment in time now. Okay. And that's about finding your formula. And that's not being selfish, because some people say, oh, it's being selfish. It's survival. Use the classic one that always gets banded around: the oxygen mask in the planes. They tell you to fit yours first before you fit anybody else's. Okay. Now, I would like to see how that actually happens in reality when you're up there and things are chaotically going across, because some people will naturally sacrifice themselves to serve others. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, okay, because we have people in the forces, we have people, frontline medics, that do this all the time. And that's the formula they're in. Okay, I watched a program last night and it was about the elite, I think it's the Top Guns in America. And they talked about, I can't think of what the exact phrase was, but it was basically serving the bigger picture, and fundamentally it was saying to the detriment of self. Okay, because there is a purpose there within the, you know, the armed forces, the machine it is, that you serve the greater good, and you have to put yourself to one side. In the space that I'm in, development, coaching, mentoring, self-employment, business growth, okay, that is very detrimental to the purpose, the core, the individual that's leading a team. Because if you forget about yourself in the equation of everything, at some point it's going to break. And the reason I'm tapping my phone here is to see I've got a timer that goes off at 10 past. Okay, so if we think about your relationships, finding your formula with a relationship, you know, I've been divorced, I'm in a new relationship, and it's, I say new, we're 6 years in. It's incredible. Okay, it's absolutely incredible. But before I had to step into that relationship, and actually during this relationship, there were some things I had to figure out about myself. Okay, it's how do I operate in the space of intimate space with somebody? How do I operate? How does that fit into my plan going forward in life? Many of us step into relationships, personal, professional, societal, that may have served us then, but not necessarily now, let alone in the future. Okay, and this isn't relationship advice. This is just using the conscious development model as a platform, as an understanding to realize that, okay, so how does that serve me? Because we change, energetically we change, psychologically we changed, physically, our experiences, we have grief, we have loss, we have acceptance, we have understanding, we bring in gratitude, and it changes us. And that's a good thing. People say to me, you're different. Amazing. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the same person that I was back then. Okay, because I begin to understand my formula and how I operate in the world. Okay, and that really plays out with the relationships, especially personal relationships, which then filters out to professional relationships and our societal relationships, how we interact with society. So if you take that one step back to our well-being, people go, you must get up at this time, you must do this. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, you don't know me energetically. Okay, you don't know what makes me tick. Sure, there's some incredible experts there out in the world. There's some people actually that want to put you through their formula because they're pitching, because they're selling. Now, I'm all for business and selling, but appropriate to the client, appropriate to those individuals' needs. And as I said, there's frameworks, there's processes, but that formula has to work for you energetically. If it doesn't, it'll seem hard. Okay, and that's 10 minutes up. So think about the things that go on in your world. How, to show you one last time, how is your formula serving you at the heart of it? Your well-being, your relationships, your personal economy, and your life fulfillment. Because if it's not, I would suggest that you need to find another formula. Okay, you can scan the QR code here. I've got an offer on at the moment. It will be changing very soon because I'm doing some updates. Connect with me. If you want me to send you the map, by all means, I'll do that. And I'm here again on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Hope you've enjoyed this Finding Your Formula episode. I'll see you again. Have a great week.